Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Should your relationship be reduced to a therapy session with you as a self-help guru to help your mate with their issues? Or should you expect your mate to come to the table, issues and all, capable of operating in a functional partnership?
Yes, I have to go with the latter. At this stage of our maturity, this stage of our lives, I think that, my philosophy, I like a lot of sayings, and one of the sayings that I've always lived with is a relationship exists for me to enhance my world but not to become my world, and that I can't rely on another to bring me happiness. I must bring my happiness into the relationship. So, of course, we all have our issues. We all have our issues that we can't help, that's a part of our existence and our domestication into our society. But at the same time, there has to be a level of balance with respect to how you handle that, that stuff. So at this stage of my life, I want to be happy, and I don't really subscribe to the concept that a relationship or things in life in general has to always be so downtrodden and challenging. And, I think a relationship should have stimulation. It should involve fun. It should have laughter. And so all that other stuff that you just described kind of really is synonymous to me of the opposite of laughter and fun. And again, I'm not going to say that, because in life we live in this society. We have our issues, and we certainly, of course, have our issues as a people. But we've forgotten that we can be happy, that we're supposed to be, and that a relationship should be fun. I want to kind of have a woosah moment when I see my mate. I want to have collapsing moment where I can just chill and just be. And if it's always a battle because I am a therapist, I have to be a therapist, then it's really not. None of those things factor in, are factored in. And too many people I know, unfortunately, are in relationships, and it's a tug of war. And it's really, you have to say, okay, are you really, what's your motive for the relationship? Because it's always a complaint. It's always an issue, And again, I'm not saying that we're not going to have our individual issues, and I'm not saying that as mates we're not here to support one another, but support is the operative word here. But we should be able to, again, bring our own happiness. So that means that indicates that indicates there's some work that's already been done, and you have a functioning formula for yourself to deal with the trials that may come up in your individual lives. And also, too, we forget that we're to treat our mates as friends. A lot of times we treat our friends better than our mates, but our mates are supposed to be our friends. So that's my little 2 cents.
Well, you just touched on something that I'm going to ask the question that I didn't ask initially. Do you have the right to be happy?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
basically.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, and I think that that's the problem. The issue is that we have we have not accepted the challenge. I think, we haven't accepted thoroughly the challenge of I'm worthy. I'm worthy to be happy. I deserve happiness. Whatever you believe in, whatever walk of life you adhere to, or none at all. If you believe that there is a higher power creator, as your birthright, as a child of the Creator, you do deserve happiness. I think we've accepted the fact that, life is supposed to be a struggle. And whatever you accept in your mentality is what you think about, and whatever you think about is what you speak about, and whatever you speak about is your creation. So, yeah, we do deserve to be happy, but a lot of us come from dysfunction, and unfortunately, that dysfunction that attached itself to us during our formative years also translated as we grew into, life is a struggle. I really am not worthy to be happy. But yeah, we are worthy. We deserve to be happy. And if you think about that, if you think about deserving to be happy, then you're going to work on your own individual happiness. And then it takes me back to, I'm going to meet you happy, you're going to meet me happy, and when we get together, guess what? We're going to have a little bit of heaven. And that's not unrealistic, but we do think it's unrealistic. But it's not unrealistic. Right. We have to change our mentality so that we can draw different energies into our space.
Right.
Our spaces.
And the thing is that happiness is the thing, because, let's be honest, as African people, racism, poverty, injustice, these are not happy situations. These are situations that tug at our happiness. These are situations that challenge us to go deeper within, to find that happiness when everything around us tries to provoke us to not be happy.
Right. And so what that means is to call on your power, call on your own individual power that dictates otherwise. It means you have to call on exactly what you said, go within, call on your own individual power, because we do believe that I believe a lot of us, at least those of us on this phone, I believe a lot of us know that we do have power, but we have to connect with that power day to day and know that we are capable, even in spite of all the things that you mentioned that are very real, we are capable of working, doing the work that involves self-talk, and to operate within that power to change our personal reality, to bring about and accept the fact that we're worthy of being happy, in spite of all the nonsense that we're born into.
Right.
And it does take work. It does take work, but it's not impossible.
Right. And I hate to draw back on the football analogy, but it's just so appropriate. The way I see it is like when you start off in the training season, where you get into shape and you find out who's going to be on the team. I consider that the dating process.
Right.
Then you make your picks. You say, all right, well, I'm picking this person because we're going to go and win this championship. Now, once you got the team together, which is the two people, throughout the course of the season, there's going to be fumbles, there's going to be interceptions, there's going to be games where you lost, there's going to be games where you won, you may have got blown out a couple of times, and you may not even win the championship that year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I consider that just the normal things that come with just going about the process of trying to, advance. So it's not like, because I know I was accused of saying that, people, I'm looking for perfection. It's not perfection. What it is that you have to get, if you're going to win anything, you got to get two people who's capable of winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And winning for a relationship means being, progress, building with each other.
Right.
So really the most important thing is during that training season, who's going to get dropped, who's going to get released, and who's going to actually make the cut so y'all can go and play the rest of the season.
Right. And just because you made the team doesn't mean you're going to always stay on the team.
Right, exactly. Because if you're not performing up to a certain level, at some point they're going to have to get you out of that position.
Right.
And I don't see it any different from how it is with a relationship. If you're trying, now if that is your goal, is to build, then that's the type of mentality that you have to have.